Being told that boundaries are what you set to make sure that people respect you. That is exactly the very thing that once they cross, it entitles you to react or be assertive and say, don't you dare do that to me again, and then blah blah blah. In this video, I'm going to show you why despite that, you're still not getting the results you want. And by the end of the video, we're going to figure out how to get you exactly into the point where this discussion never happens again. Okay, so my name is Matt Doe, and I'm a consultant who helps men lead themselves so that they can lead everywhere else. Now, I also work with women, however, primarily men. 90% of the clients are men. Cool. So the first things first is, what do we do so far? So if I now say to you, why do people feel the need to react when their boundaries are being crossed? Oh. Right? Well, it signals disrespect. What else does it signal? It signals that the person doesn't care about the very things you said that they should have been caring about. But most importantly, it says one thing clearly. It says that whatever you say doesn't really matter to them. And that's the pain. Boundaries are foundationally caused by pain. Something that they know they should have known not to do, they decided to do regardless. I'm here to tell you that the first person to respond to the boundaries is you. You are the first person at the scene. You are the first person disrespecting your boundaries. You're the first person that's going against the very thing you set up first. Why? I'll tell you why. Because you, it's a mirror. This here, I don't want to stick to it. I don't want to overcomplicate it. So you is a mirror, right? Why is that? Well, you is a representation of your life, your experiences, your decisions, your choices, right? So if you look at you, your concept, even the name you were given, is based on what your parents gave you, right? But you as a concept is a mirror. So when someone is disrespecting you, it's probably because you're disrespecting yourself. What do I mean by that? It's quite simple. The reason why I say it's a mirror is because we believe that see, I hear this thing. And I didn't say on the TikTok video I made, but we hear this thing where I showed them kindness, I showed them compassion, I gave them mercy, and look at where it got me, right? Remember Franklin Saint saying that? A lot of people feel like, oh my kindness is taken for weakness, right? Why do we do that? Because we are the first people not to be kind to ourselves. And this mirror amplifies it. People are amplifiers. When you are not kind to you, people are not going to be kind to you, regardless of how kind you are to them. You see, just like in a mirror, you can't get it to smile until you smile first. So guess what? If you refuse to show yourself the decency, the ability to show yourself the kindness enough to walk away from a situation that doesn't serve you or is working right against your ability to show people what you desirably want to do, guess what? They follow suit. He's not kind to himself. Of course we're going to use him. This guy's horrible to himself. He's a complete jackass. But you think that because you're neglecting yourself and pleasing others, you're a good person. Why? Because you're focused on the performance rather than the identity. See, being good starts with you. Being authentic, having boundaries starts with you. The boundaries, okay, are not for them, they are for you. The boundaries simply state that if this person doesn't represent kindness to me, I have no business being around this person. And that may sound harsh because a lot of people confuse that for the jerk. Right? When we look at the jerk, we are automatically assume that this guy is clearly, he's the example of what not to be. right? He's horrible to people and blah blah blah. He says no all the time. So because of that, we assume that this, you're either kind, not kind, okay? Or kind. And then this should have been the thumbnail actually. Right? That's us, right? So that's how I grew up. I thought if you're not kind, you're ugly, horrible. If you're kind, you're perfect. It's good. The problem is, you okay, are the first person you need to be kind to. You want to understand how to build emotional safety. A lot of the things I'm saying, I'm only saying because a lot of people don't understand that the reality of the matter is that it all starts with you first. If you don't have emotional safety, you're not going to be able to do that for them. I used to say things to my exes, such as, you know what, I don't care about myself. I just want you to win. And guess what that said? You don't care about yourself. You don't want to win for you. I can't trust that. Because if you can't do it for yourself, what's to say that although you do it for me, right, that now represents the ability of you being able to sustain that. You see, selflessness is selfishness when you can't apply it to yourself. Woo! Why? Because if you're so selfless, right, if you're so selfless as you say you are, and you denounce your needs, denounce your desires, guess what happens when other people now follow suit? Or guess what happens when at some point you now start to resent the very people you're doing any of this for? Because humans are wired to have needs and desires met. That's our nervous system in a nutshell. Our pulses, you freaking name it. If we boil it down to the core, we're just a bunch of nervous systems responses that are designed towards achieving a specific target. Some is placed towards innovation, some is creativity, some is fulfillment in one way or the other. Even faith, right? Becoming holy. Bliss, right? So what I'm basically saying is that the moment you now say to yourself, do you know what? Screw being kind to myself, but I'm going to be kind to everyone else. You're still not kind. You being able to, this is how your boundaries are going to be protected to the best of your ability. Why? Because you're not interested in how other people perceive your boundaries. You are going to be kind to yourself first so that you can be kind to others in that particular order. If you do it the other way, you're going to have people around that clearly represent that you have zero compassion for yourself. Okay? I'm not saying that you shouldn't help people that don't need help on whatever the case is, but do it based on it being a mission, or do it based on you having clarity on why you're doing it. Don't do it whilst inherently regretting the fact that you're doing it in the first place. So whatever you do, make sure that is intentional. And I'd argue that if you're as a missionary, what that really means is that you have enough abundance for yourself that you can share with others. Right? This is for the person that is struggling because he feels like his kindness is being taken advantage of. It's been taken advantage of because you're not kind to yourself. Okay? So, in a nutshell, the best way for you to handle things is by understanding who you are, having clarity on where you're going, and ensuring that every step, every move you make is aligned towards that specific goal or target. Alright, this is why I say to people that you must understand who you are and where you're going first. Without that, you can go anywhere and be damaged by anyone. Once you're clear on this, you get to be kind again. Why? Because if the person aligns with what you want to build, aligns with what you're doing, great. You guys can go towards the same direction. If not, that's the same thing. Hey, listen, we don't align, but it's cool. I really appreciate what you're doing. And I think it's great. Right? Your wife doesn't respect you anymore. Cool. Now, you now take it back to this. Listen, I'm okay. I want to be fine. The question is, can we align whilst doing this or not? I promise you, the moment I done this, I haven't had to raise a voice once at my wife. I haven't had to call her names. I haven't had to say, hey, sit in line, woman. None of it. Why? Because we align and she's clear on the fact that she's a representation of the kindness I have towards myself. This person isn't kind. Why would I have that around me? That's not being kind to me. I'm not saying you should abuse people's kindness or you should put yourself in a position where you're taking advantage of other people's kindness. No, I'm saying be kind to you first. And let that now be a consequence of why everybody else is also kind to you. Okay? I really hope this video has helped you in shaping the difference, because this doesn't come from security or your need to prove a point. It comes from a place of identity, abundance, and most importantly, the fact that you are leading by example, by leading yourself first into that kindness that is displayed in how you carry yourself, how you treat your body, how you treat your mind, how you treat your friends, how you treat your family, how you treat your vision. Be kind to your vision, right? Nurture it. Okay? Really hope this video has helped you. If you want to understand how to do this on a one-to-one basis, I do have one-to-one sessions where for the 6 or 12 weeks, depending on the package you pick, we will be working together and I'll be holding you accountable in achieving this, because no one wants to be here, especially after you've been used and abused because you refuse to be kind to yourself first. Okay? Now, on to the next one, and I'll see you on the next video.